Sanjay, today we talk about service recovery. Now, service recovery is extremely important for any business which has a customer interface, which virtually means every business. Especially for a food retail business, if you have an irate, angry customer, there is one customer gone, plus multiple ones that one angry customer might have spoken to. Are there examples that you'd like to share of managing angry customers and turning them to happy and loyal ones?
Sunil, being in the food business, like you rightly said, since everybody's taste buds are also different, even the same sandwich you ask five people, you get five different opinions, even if it's rightly made.
That's true.
Being in that kind of a business to satisfy everyone to the T is one of the toughest things, from a service provider angle. Having said that, what we say and measure up against is this is the SOP. Have we done justice to the SOP? And if after having met our standards, if three people feel differently about the product, then it's not so much of an issue as far as I have delivered what I was expected to deliver in the first place. So that is one level that we handle it. Coming from a service recovery issue, we always have dissatisfied guests, and I'm sure every business has customers who are not satisfied all the time. Maybe 8 out of 10 times on a Flipkart your experience has been great, but 2 times even there maybe your experience has not been good. So it's about consistently delivering the same quality day in, day out. And we have had issues. I can tell you an example. One of our cafes we had opened recently in Calcutta, and out of sheer excitement that I wanted to see what happens over a weekend, I was there on a Sunday evening, and there was this family who had ordered some food, and I saw that they were getting a little uneasy on the table. So I just checked with them, and they said it's been time and the order hasn't arrived. So I go back to the station to check what it is, and as it happens, the food is just about ready and it gets served to them. So I think, okay, here was the guest who was uneasy and the problem has been solved. 10 minutes later, we find first this gentleman walking up to the cashier, followed by his wife and followed by his kids, and they politely inquire about something which was served there. And to my horror, to all of us horror, we found out that they had ordered a veg mac and cheese and they were served a chicken mac and cheese. Pure vegetarian family, a couple of days just before Navratras was beginning, and and when they realized what had happened, as usual and as expected, they were furious. The lady was really, very, very bent upon, creating a scene there, and she was right in what she was doing. Even if I was in her place, I would have done the same. So I happened to be there, so I walked up, and since I'd already intervened in, solving an issue of theirs, they came up to me and said, "What is this?" And they said the first thing they want is the telephone number, the email ID of the CEO's office and the head office they want to write. And I said, I happen to be the head of the business and I'm standing right in front of you. So in many ways, I've experienced exactly what you have experienced, and profusely apologized to them. Tried to tell them that it's an error that's happened. We accept the error and we'll try and fix that up, where we went wrong and all of that stuff. But at that point in time, all that matters to the guest is I don't care about what you do, but this has been done to me. And it's not a situation which can be retrieved by monetarily giving them something, or it'll get construed otherwise that you're trying to make up for it. So we just had to be at that point in time at the receiving end. I stood right there, apologized to both the children, apologized to the husband, to the wife, and as they had just had some non-vegetarian, the first thing they wanted is to go and wash up and probably puke out whatever they had, so they wanted to go to the washroom. I just walked along, thinking I'll get another 2 minutes at least till we reach there, and I tried to speak to them on the way, and it just dawned on me that I'm not going to get anywhere today as far as this is going to happen, because this is something that, how do we recover? You have fed somebody non-veg who's a pure vegetarian, but we stood there, put a very, very apologetic face, and we really felt from the heart. I could feel exactly what the guest was going through. But at the end of the day, what happened is when the guests left, they also understood that it was an error. At the end of the day, human beings rationalize, and we also know what is done voluntarily and what is done wantedly, what is an error. And they realized that it was an error at the end of the day, and we were all standing there accepting the error. We were not trying to defend ourselves. And we took their number, we gave our email ID, I gave them my number, and we followed up next day morning by having, Chetan, who looks after the East business, to call the guest and say, I just want an appointment, I want to come and meet you. This happened in my territory. My CEO was there yesterday, he explained it to me. But apart from him apologizing, it's my duty, I want to come and meet you. And what we did is, we didn't let it stop there. We started saying what has gone wrong, and we really figured out that there was something which had gone on with the token number system that we were running. There was a printing error which had happened, but the guest will not care about what actually happened in our case. So we wanted to demonstrate to the guest that it is serious enough for us to take action. So we took the duty manager or the cafe manager off duty for a week, sent him back for training to refresh on the SOPs. We called the guest and informed that this is the incident, this is what we realized has been the error, why this happened. The action taken is we taken this guy off, sent him for training. Week later, when he came back from training, we again reached out to the guest and informed the guest this guy has reported back. We would like to have you back with your family. Try what you actually came for, and trust us that this is never going to be repeated. And interestingly, the guest never took the money back. In that whole anxiety and that anger, since they're already paid for the food, they didn't even want to take the money back. When we tried to ask them for the address, they said, we're not this kind of guest. So obviously we were not wanting to push that kind of urgency in trying to go and sort the matter, because we're not trying to fix the things. We are trying to improve our processes, tell them seriously we are concerned about what happened, and we have taken these actions. It's been now over a month. I sent Navratri wishes to the guest. I sent messages on Diwali wishes, cordially reciprocated, and I'm hoping very soon the guest is going to come back to our cafe. So, these kind of things happen, and, you just got to take responsibility, take accountability, be honest about it, and make an effort to, somehow get them back, persevere with them, keep them informed, and I think that's what has worked for us.
Did you try sending some savories to their home?
Like I said, when I asked them for their home address, the guest mentioned to me, I'm not that kind of a guest, and I let it stay at that, because it was getting construed as otherwise, that we're probably trying to cover up the issue. So I thought an agitated guest with this comment, and he was quite a senior gentleman working in one of the reputed banks, so we just let it stay. Many times time is a great healer. When they slept overnight, when they got up the next day, when he spoke to the guest was much calmer. So at the heat of the moment, anything, we didn't want to precipitate the matter further, but we kept pursuing it, kept informing him, kept the communication channels open with him, and he knew we were serious about fixing the problem.
It's one thing to solve a problem at a time when something takes place, but to consistently have a service recovery system and a service level, how do you do that? How do you maintain those levels? How do you ensure that every time there is something which is positively reacted to?
Right. As you are aware, Sunil, in today's world, information is shared at the split second on Twitter, on Facebook, and various methods for people to vent their anger, and you won't even know it till your agency calls them and say somebody's posted this on Facebook, or a well-wisher called up and told you that. So having seen that, what we realize is we are very, very proactive, or reactive, actually not proactive. We are reactive, but reactive within seconds. Whenever there is a post which is posted which is unfavorable, we have a standard SOP of what kind of answers are to be given, unless the query or the problem is a very unique problem, wherein it comes up even to me, and where we change the kind of wordings that we want to write before we send out the message on Twitter or on Facebook to people. But I think being alive to the situation, being alert to the situation, and all the time making efforts to reach out to the guest first, because we have seen that in most cases an agitated guest, when somebody just reaches out to him from the company, is already feeling good that they have heard me. I think 50% of the battle is won when you just reach out to the guest, and then when you accept responsibility, tell them that you're ready to be penalized and you want to come and meet them. And we also have an SOP from the US. So this happens, is something that we do, be it on Facebook or on Twitter. Separately, a lot of emails also go to US or come into our office boxes directly into our mail IDs. And we have a protocol wherein we investigate, we prepare an incident report. We know who the manager was in that point in time, what the incident was. We speak to the guest, get the leads, figure this out. We send an incident report to the guest also saying this is what has happened, this is what we have fixed. And in the protocol, the last question we ask the guest is, are you satisfied with our query, and will you come back to us or not? And in many cases the guest says, I will surely come back, I know these errors can happen to you. So the protocol ends by asking that last question, and this is how we deal with it on a day in, day out basis. So one is proactively ensure that nothing like this happens, but in case something happens, react very fast. Speed is of essence when you react, and otherwise, following up, keeping the guest informed. So this is what we do.
Excellent. Do you disseminate details of these incidents around the shops and the restaurants so that everybody learns from them?
Absolutely, Sunil. It's a great way to not only motivate the people but to educate. It's a very positive way of educating somebody out of a crisis situation. They remember it far longer than somebody remembering something which happened in the normal course. So we send out emailers next day telling what the incident was, how it got handled, and we send it to all cafe level employees across all regions. In fact, the entire organization, it goes out from our mailbox. So everybody is aware that this happened, and then you start seeing people exchanging things, saying congratulations, well done. So this is a way of again pushing through knowledge, pushing through actual experience on the floor. Very good question. We do that.
Thank you so much, Sanjay.
Thanks.